President Lee Myung-bak has stressed the strong law enforcement on candlelight protests against U.S. beef imports. North Korean leader Kim Jong-il did not show up at a military parade marking his country's 60th birthday. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development says Korean teachers are treated better than their OECD counterparts. Hello and welcome to KBS World News Today. It's Wednesday, the 10th of September. President Lee Myung-bak has stressed the strong law enforcement on candlelight protests against U.S. beef imports. He has also expressed regret over allegations of his administration's discrimination against Buddhism.
President Lee has held a TV debate called Dialogue with the People. He was flooded with questions about the government's policy to punish protesters against U.S. beef imports.
촛불 시위 사실 출발은 정부의 협상의 잘못 때문에 시작됐던 건데 관용은 전혀 없고 어떤 처벌 위주로 분위기가 지금 선회를 한 상황인데.
President Lee emphasized the rule of law, warning of a tough crackdown on violent demonstrations.
그 일을 당한 사람은 어떻게 불만이 있을지 모르지만 국민 다수는 대통령이 살아있느냐 죽었느냐 어떻게 되는지 저렇게 불법을 해도 그대로 두느냐. 이게 지금 국민의 여론입니다.
A panelist asked if the government is taking retaliatory action against officials of the previous administration, citing police and prosecutor raids. The president denied this, saying he's not originally a politician and has no political foes.
중립적인 입장을 떠나가지고 무슨 보복적 차원에서 한다는 것은 있을 수도 없고 상상도 할 수 없습니다. 그런 공권력은 저는 용납하지 않습니다.
On his government's alleged discrimination against Buddhism, he pledged to promote national unity as asked by the Venerable Pup Jun, the supreme patriarch of the country's largest Buddhist order.
또 그렇게 보여지지 않았다면 제가 저인데 그건 불찰이 있다고 이렇게 보고 그건 열심히 그렇게 하도록 하겠습니다.
President Lee also expressed regret over tension with Buddhists in a cabinet meeting.
The first female U.S. ambassador to Korea says Korea and the U.S. have a special alliance. Katherine Stevens says she will work to strengthen ties between Koreans and Americans.
The last few months, I have met with many
Katherine Stevens is all smiles after being confirmed as U.S. ambassadors to Korea 8 months after her appointment. She even has a Korean name, Incheon, and sent this greeting in Korean.
다음 주에 추석 잘 보내시고 다음 주에 한국에서 뵙겠습니다.
She says she's brushing up on Korean to communicate better with Korean people.
But I also hope that there will be some understanding from Koreans when I make mistakes, because I am sure I will make mistakes.
Stevens says that she will strengthen civilian ties between the two countries, adding both sides have a very special alliance.
The U.S. and Korea have a very, very special alliance and a very special relationship. We share so much.
Her first visit to Korea was back in 1975 as a Peace Corps volunteer. She taught English at middle school in Puyo and Yesan in South Chungcheong province. The career diplomat is quite familiar with Korea, and her appointment as first female U.S. envoy to Seoul is raising expectations.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-il has now appeared in public for nearly 1 month. He also did not show up at a military parade marking his country's 60th birthday. His not showing up has fueled rumors that he is in bad condition.
A military parade is held to mark the 60th anniversary of North Korea. But non-regular military units took center stage in the parade. This year's parade was humble compared to those held in 1998 and 2003. Most conspicuous was the absence of North Korean leader Kim Jong-il. Kim is rumored to be gravely ill. A source familiar with North Korean affairs says Kim suffered a stroke. German doctors are also known to have visited the North in July. Kim is a diabetic who received cardiac surgery in May. His father and predecessor Kim Il-sung died of heart disease in 1994. Thus, Kim Jong-il could also be suffering from heart disease. A Seoul official says nothing has been confirmed, but the South Korean government is reviewing related information. Another government official also cites no unusual movements in North Korea.
A reenactment of the 1950 Allied landing on Incheon has marked the greatest turning point of the Korean War. Veterans who were there 58 years ago remember their fallen comrades. A memorial service was held as well for Walmi Island residents who died during the operation.
A scout party jumps into the sea to remove obstacles placed on shore. Paratroopers jump off the planes to bomb enemy radar stations. Underwater obstacles then explode, sending columns of water high into the air. Following the scouts are tanks carrying the main firepower. They set off smoke bombs to start the landing operation.
수많은 폭격을 했기 때문에 아주 안개가 자욱하고 우리가 상륙했을 때는 그냥 화약 냄새 이런 중에 시가전을 돌림했다는 사실입니다.
The reenactment of the 1950 landing at Incheon was the biggest since the foundation of the Marine Corps. All the equipment and armory used in the events were Korean-made. Veterans placed flowers for their fallen comrades and remembered their noble sacrifice. A memorial service also honored Walmi Island residents who died from preemptive bombing by U.S. troops.
인천 상륙 작전 그러면 우리 대한민국 사람들은 다 승리의 전장으로 다 기억하고 있지만 그 내면에 승리를 하기 위해서는 민간인이 그만큼 희생된 사건을 모르고 계십니다.
Families of civilian victims and civic groups urged the government to get more active in uncovering the truth behind the Incheon landing.
The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development says Korean teachers are treated better than their OECD counterparts. But parents' satisfaction of schools or teachers in Korea is quite low.
This is a meeting for parents worried over their children's education. Mothers here say it's difficult to raise their children without giving them private tutoring. They soon expressed their complaints about Korea's public education system.
공교육에 대해서는 만들어 보내야 된다고 생각을 하니까 교육에서 뭘 얻는다고 생각을 안 하고 본인이 다 해야 된다고 생각하니까 굉장히 고달퍼하죠.
An OECD survey says 66% of Korean parents believe schools manage students well, the 8th highest rate among 10 countries surveyed. 88% of parents say they're satisfied with teachers' performance and devotion to students, but that figure is 9th out of 10. The average salary for a Korean teacher with 15 years of experience is a little more than $52,000 US. Teacher pay at Korean elementary, middle, and high schools are all higher than the OECD averages. In contrast, the number of hours taught per year in Korea is lower than the OECD averages for all grades. Korean teachers teach more than 100 hours less in middle and high schools than their OECD counterparts. Korean parent satisfaction for schools may be low, but they pay the highest percentage of public education costs among 26 OECD members. This finding shows the Korean government provides insufficient assistance for educational welfare. Tuition at Korean national and public colleges is also the 3rd highest in the OECD, and that of private colleges is 4th.
A philanthropist has made a large donation to a university, but with strings attached. Scholarship must go to students who perform community service. Beneficiaries of the scholarships have launched a volunteer service team.
70 students have launched a volunteer service team after receiving scholarships of $9,200 each. They form the Sesak Mentoring Corps at Seoul National University. Members tutor middle and high school students from low-income families every weekend. One member takes care of 5 younger students. The team helps a combined 350 middle and high school students. Members say they find it worthwhile to help others in need.
과외를 하면은 돈은 많이 벌 수 있는데 이렇게 어려운 학생들 도우면은 거기에서 이제 보람도 느낄 수 있고 그게 더 밑으로 퍼지고 그래서 더 좋은 효과를 얻을 수 있을 거라고 생각합니다.
Philanthropist Kim Sun-dong is a former businessman and chairman of the board at a scholarship foundation. He has come up with an idea to end the vicious circle of poverty.
그 자식이 부모의 빈곤 때문에 어려움을 겪는다 하는 것은 옳지 않지 않느냐.
Kim plans to provide scholarships to students who perform community service at other universities.
The national soccer team will play against North Korea in Shanghai in a World Cup qualifier. But ticket prices have soared, making it difficult for South Koreans to see the match at the stadium.
The two Koreas will play a World Cup qualifier at Hongkou Stadium in Shanghai. Ticket windows are quiet, though the match is one day away. These are the ticket prices. Fourth grade seats are $29. First class seats are a whopping $209. The average wage of a Chinese worker is $290 a month. The tickets are more expensive than those for the previous round between the two Koreas at the same stadium. The price for first-class tickets has surged $130 from the previous inter-Korean match.
그때는 250원에 구했던 자리가 오늘은 400원이고 가격이 다 올랐는데 150원씩 다 올라갔어요.
The expensive tickets have made it hard for South Koreans to watch the match at the stadium. South Koreans used to enthusiastically root for their national team in Shanghai as if it were South Korean territory. North Korea set the ticket prices. The vice chairman of the South Korea Football Association, Jo Jung-yeon, says the North is trying to keep out South Korean cheering squads through higher ticket prices. The North Korean team is on high alert against its South Korean rival. Pyongyang has ordered closed training sessions for its squad. South Korean players consider Hongkou Stadium a second home stadium. But the expensive tickets will limit the number of South Korean fans at the game. South Korea will thus have to play North Korea without its usual cheering squad.
The long-snouted bullhead is known as one of the best-tasting fish that was reserved for the king only during the Joseon dynasty. The fish was thought to be extinct, but has been restored in the Gum River.
The dorsal fin on the dark brownish fish looks like a rooster's crest. The mouth is hidden under the stubby snout surrounded by whiskers. The long-snouted bullhead looks similar to the yellow catfish, commonly called bagasari in Korea. The omnivorous eater fish is 20 to 50 centimeters long when fully grown, with some bigger than 70 centimeters. The fish lives in the lower part of the large rivers, such as Gum, Han, and Taedong rivers, that flow into the Yellow Sea. Among them, the fish caught at the Gum River are said to taste the best. The fish was often served to the kings of the Joseon dynasty. Back then, only kings and high officials were allowed to eat the famous fish.
가장 맛이 뛰어나서 이 지역 현감이 그 임금인데 진상하는 그 어종 중에 가장 훌륭한 물고기로 그렇게 알려져 있습니다.
The fish disappeared in Korea in the 1980s due to excessive catching using explosives. Some 5,000 young long-snouted bullheads, about 10 centimeters long, have been set free in the Gum River. The fish was imported from China in 2001 and bred and restored by the National Fisheries Research and Development Institute of Korea. The institute will continue stocking the fish into the river and share the breeding techniques with private fish farms from next year.
Cob house is a mud hut originating from Britain. 3 young Korean sculptors have built the cob house by themselves. The house is similar to traditional Korean mud huts, but it is much stronger and gives builders the freedom to express themselves. Here's a look at this eco-friendly house. There's a beautiful mud hut in Gwangju, Gyeonggi Province. Its gate looks like a unique artistic work. And its doors make the house look like a cottage in a fairy tale. 3 Korean sculptors built this beautiful mud house by themselves for 10 months.
사진을 보게 됐는데요. 우리나라 흙집하고는 너무 틀린 되게 이국적인 그런 느낌하고 또 여러 가지 소재를 가지고 자유롭게 집을 지은 그런 느낌이 참 마음에 들어서.
This Western-style mud hut is called Cob House and easily seen in Britain, New Zealand, Australia, and Canada. Most of houses were cob houses in Britain until the late 18th century. The mud huts are getting attention these days. Mud mixed with straws and sand is used to build the houses, which are strong and durable. The house is healthful because the construction material is mud, and builders enjoy freedom to build a unique house as they want. The 3 men have decorated the inside of the house themselves. Let's take a look at it. This is a resting place with a wood table. The wall decoration is quite unique. They used color glass bottles to decorate the east wall to have natural lighting at sunrise.
개인적으로 이 공간이 제일 마음에 들거든요. 투영된 빛들이 가지각색인 빛들이 너무 예뻐가지고 약간 분위기를 좀 독특한 분위기를 연출하죠.
This cozy bedroom also has a unique window. They dug out a log to use it as a window frame. The idea is brilliant. A tree is at the center of the house. The 2-floor-high tree is used to support a spiral staircase. On the second floor, there's an attic at the end of the stairs. A traditional Korean construction method was applied for the sofa in the exotic living room.
이게 흙으로 만든 소파예요. 이 집의 특징 중에 하나인데, 그러니까 우리나라 온돌방 형식으로 이 안에 난방 설치가 돼 있어가지고 이 안에 그러니까 앉으면 엉덩이가 따뜻한 그런 소파가 되는 거죠.
The sofa has a storage space. They have come up with these unique ideas since they built the house by themselves. The refined kitchen was also a work of the 3 men. The house doesn't simply mean a residence to them. It is their artistic work built with great affection. Cob houses suggest a new eco-friendly and characteristic housing trend. Here are today's economic indicators and the weather. That's it for this edition of KBS World News Today. Have a nice day and thank you for watching.